Hello, hello, and welcome back to the Kindred Kitchen. Today we are going to make a stuffed squash recipe. And before we get into all the ingredients, I want to remind you to go down below, like and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so that we can increase our reach and help more people that are struggling with their weight loss like we are. This stuffed squash recipe is an awesome 50-50 whole food plant-based meal all in one, so you don't have to add any veggies. Now I'm going to go through the ingredients, but I'm going to list all the ingredients just like we do with every video down in the description box, so you can sit back, relax, and watch how we do it, and then you can catch the ingredients down below. Okay, I have here a whole package of, these are baby portabella mushrooms, and I saved the little box. It's like these. You see these in the grocery store? It's one of those. I've got a bell pepper, a whole bell pepper, kind of encompassed by the mushrooms. I have a head of broccoli here that I've just chopped up pretty small. I wanted small pieces for this. I've got one zucchini. I have 2 carrots that are diced up, 1 whole onion. It was a medium-sized onion, and I used about 2 celery spears. This is 3 because they were small, but I have 2. I usually use about 2. I have 1 pre-cooked acorn squash here. You can use whatever squash you want. I just pop this in the microwave for like 10 to 15 minutes until it feels soft, and then this will go into the oven at the end, so it'll finish off cooking if it's not completely cooked. But that way you don't have to leave everything in the oven for an hour, hour and a half to get the squash to cook. So this is pre-cooked. I have a tablespoon of poultry seasoning, I have a half a teaspoon of pepper, and I have a teaspoon of salt, and then on top we're going to add nutritional yeast. Okay, now we're going to take this all over to the stove so that we can get cooking, pre-cooking these veggies, and I'm going to have some water over there just in case I need it, in case it starts to get dry. Okay, so we are over here at the stove now, and my pan has been preheating, so I'm going to add the onion, and the carrot, and the celery. I add a lot at the beginning, but these take longer to cook. I'm going to save the zucchini for last, and I'm adding the bell pepper and the mushroom right now.
That's good because the water from the mushroom will kind of, get everything going.
And then I'm going to add the broccoli right now, and then I'm going to save the zucchini because that does not take long at all to cook. So I'm going to mix these up just as they are. Burn myself.
Don't burn yourself.
I know, I'm trying not to. Oh, I can smell the onion and bell pepper hitting the heat. Yeah, and I can see that the vegetables are starting to lose their water here. So I am just going to put the lid on this and let it cook for 5 or 10 minutes until they're a little bit softer. The veggies are a little softer. And you do want to check on this every couple of minutes just to make sure that it's not going dry. Add a tablespoon or 2 of water if you need it, all right? So we'll put the lid on and we will be back. Okay, so this has been cooking for about 10 minutes now. And yeah, it's doing really good.
It just cooked in its own liquid, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, you can see there's still some liquid in here. I did not add any water at all. I think the mushrooms really help too. Mushrooms, when they... So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my zucchini, my chopped up zucchini. And I'm going to add my seasonings. Here's the tablespoon of poultry seasoning. Teaspoon of salt. Half teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to mix that up, put the lid back on, and just let it go for another 4 to 5 minutes. I will check back on it to make sure it has enough water, and to make sure the zucchini is cooked. Remember, this is going into the oven, so everything does not need to be 100% cooked.
And I like a little crunch to my veggies too, Yeah. Especially since you're stuffing a squash with it, I like to have some of the crunch on top.
Okay, I'm going to put the lid back on and we will come back in just a few minutes. Okay, so what we're going to do now is take care of the squash. It is pre-cooked, so what I do is cut it in half.
So you just run it in the microwave for 10 minutes?
I did. Ooh. 10 to 15, depending on the size of the squash. Every few minutes I feel it wants to have a little bit of give to it. And I'm gonna cut out this little end here piece. And then we're going to scoop out the seeds. You could do this in the oven and you could cut it and take out the seeds first if you wanted to. I just do it at the end because I think it's a lot easier, you know, to scoop out the seeds. There's our acorn squash. We're just going to give the filling a few more minutes to cook and we will be back to stuff the squash. All right, all the veggies are cooked and looking good. See, it does look like a good stuffing.
And it smells really good too.
All right, so we're going to bring this over to the counter and we are going to stuff the squash and get this into the oven. And I'll tell you, I told my husband I'd bring home the leftover stuffing and we would have more at home. So I'm just gonna do one acorn squash here and then one at home. Hold on, my glasses fogged up. They steamed up. Go take my glasses off. And I try to get it rounded up there so everybody gets plenty of veg. And then I always put the extra veg on the side. You know what I mean? So you can get more veg as you eat your squash with it. I'll try to get a little bit more in there. And then we're just going to sprinkle some nutritional yeast on top. Pop this in the oven for about 20 minutes to a half an hour. And we will come back when it is cooked and ready to go. Right, the acorn squash is out of the oven now and it smells so good. And you can start to see some of the edges starting to toast. And like I said, mine was hot to begin with, so it didn't need as much time in the oven. If you're starting with cold squash or something, it might need a little bit longer, but anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes is usually perfect. Remember, the ingredients are all down below, so if you want to try out this recipe, give it a try and let us know how you like it. Mix up the vegetables and tell us what you decided to try. And we have some exciting things coming in January, so make sure you check back on our channel. And I hope you have a good 25 days of Christmas. We'll talk to you later. Bye now.
Bye.